Okay, so you've recently launched your book entitled Crystal Ball Recruiting, Jason, to provide tips and advice on recruiting top sales talent. I guess I want to get an idea of what inspired you to produce that book.
Interesting question. I actually wrote a white paper on compensation and incentives
Yep.
to try and help our clients and leaders to find new ways of, creating, getting sales teams motivated again, giving them ways to be able to, leverage incentive or return on investments to make money from their salespeople. So it sort of started off as a white paper, and then I thought, oh, look, I might be like a third of the way through. I might just write a book. I can't be that hard. Little did I know. So 12 months later, Crystal Ball Recruiting is just been published,
Yeah,
and
well
it's
done.
gone to, yeah, thank you. And it's just gone to print. And yeah, I'm really excited because, and what I think in theory, the book is about hiring the top 20, well, attracting,
Attracting
recruiting,
talent,
and
yes.
attract, recruit, retain.
Yeah.
So it's just not for people that are recruiting now. It's about, well, how do I attract really good people? And that's one challenge. And then the
Yep.
next thing is, well, how do I retain my top performers? So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, pretty excited to share it with everybody early in 2026.
Yeah, well done. That's quite an achievement.
Thank you.
So you're obviously in the recruitment industry, focused on sales. What would you say are the primary hard skills required as a sales professional? Like what are organizations looking for?
Well, I just got off the phone to a sales leader. One of the biggest challenges right now is there's plenty of sales people out there, but there's not a lot of sales professionals. And to be a
Ah, that's interesting.
to be a sales professional, you need to be able to not only create and advance opportunities, but you need to be able to close new business opportunities. So there's plenty of order takers out there, but there's not, it could only be most teams only have maybe 10 to 15% of their sales people can actually generate new business opportunities. And that is, yeah, selling, new products or selling more of what they've got, and winning new dream clients. So that is really where we're finding it at the moment. Most of the recruitment we do is for sales hunters, so business development managers, sales managers, and we do some account managers as well. But majority of the people we're still recruiting for that want account managers are looking for that hunter
Right.
hybrid sort of a role.
Yeah, that's an additional element, isn't it? Like you say. And
Yeah, and I think yeah,
sorry,
so
you go.
you go.
No.
Well, the biggest challenges for leaders right now is that, a lot of companies are trying to get back to COVID levels,
Oh yeah.
and that's been very difficult. But I think the costs of doing business has increased, and they haven't been able to reduce those costs. So
Yes.
obviously you've got this gap now that is, that a lot of companies are not making enough money. They've had to make a lot of redundancies. They've had to stretch. A lot of people are doing multiple roles. So we're heading into a very bad position now where, salespeople are being asked to do many things, but they don't have time, or they've never been taught how to do what they need to do, and that is to grow revenue.
Right. Okay. And is that across a range of industries? You're seeing that?
We operate predominantly across manufacturing, building materials, construction,
Right.
which is a very broad, big industry. But I
Yeah.
know even with other people and that I've spoken to, it's not unusual. I think right now, as you know, I mean, during COVID, there was a pull through with demand, and a lot of people had more orders than they could handle. Right
Yep.
now, it's like, the owners and the leaders are looking at their salespeople going, we need to grow. And they
What's
either don't
happened?
want to or they don't
Yeah.
know how to.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. There you go. Business development's in big demand. Yeah. That business
It's
development
huge.
capability. And what about
Yeah.
if we think about soft skills? What would you say the primary soft skills required as a sales professional?
Just look, I mean, just elaborate a little bit more on that. Sorry, just from your perspective of what you're asking for.
Yeah, so soft skills would be more about your interpersonal. skills, for instance, how you engage with other people,
Okay.
your compassion. Yeah,
Yeah, well, they're all very good points, and I mean, I always believe that if we're looking for good salespeople, they need to uh, be a good listener.
yeah,
I mean, they need to be in the moment and to be there with their prospect or their customer and to put themselves in their shoes
yeah,
and
absolutely.
to ask really good questions and
Yes.
and and have that ability to be in the moment because unfortunately a lot of salespeople are so busy thinking about what they're going to say next that they're actually not listening to the opportunities that potentially have been exposed or discussed already. That's why I always look at you need to, if always go back to when I was working in sales and prospecting. I've been in sales 35 years now, but I learn every day is that when I used to cold call, I used to love cold calling because I could always see, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I would already work out 70% of what I needed to know before I even got in to see somebody.
So it's all the research as well, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, and it has changed. So I use this example like when I used to go and see someone, I'd walk in the wrong way on purpose
Ah,
because
why was that?
well, I wanted to see more of the business. So if
Ah,
I'm talking about manufacturing or industrial, and you can get away a little bit there, just walk in, you're like, oh, look, sorry, I'm not sure where to go. I've never been here before. And then you will talk to someone, and then, you can see what's around, what timber they're using, um,
ah,
what's happening. You could ask some questions. Oh, look, thanks for taking me to the office. I really appreciate it. How long you've been working here, and you build that relationship. And
get a
normally then
feel
when
for
you
the
get to the
place. Yeah, get a feel for the
yeah, then when you
workplace.
get so again, it's that being authentic and just taking an interest in people. And but on the flip side of that, we really, today there's so much information we can find out before we approach somebody. So in
Yeah,
theory, I mean, we really should know probably 60% of what we're talking about before we even talk to someone. It's like now, if I'm talking to someone, I know the challenges they're having in attracting and recruiting and retaining top salespeople.
yeah. Okay, so it's that
Yeah.
research, that preparation research, and also yeah, the listening. I'm hearing that a lot. I've had a lot of discussions recently where that's coming through, like how important listening, active listening is. It's yeah, essential, isn't it? Um, if we think about other roles, we talk more broadly, not just about sales. I'm imagining a lot of what you're talking about would apply to other professions. You know that strong communications. I imagine teamwork would be valuable in sales and other professions. So a lot of what you've talked about would be relevant to other roles. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. I think even if you look at the IT or accounting, I mean professional services. Like I mean, even though a lot of people still think they don't sell and they wouldn't want to admit it,
Yeah.
I'm worse. I mean, I do recruitment and I'm a sales guy, so I cop it both ways. But I mean, if you can meet a good accountant who can sell, well, that's like a unicorn. So. But I think that the big thing that I look at is that most of us are selling in some way.
So true. So true. Yeah.
And but again, but even if you look at it from the perspective of really what we're trying to do is help somebody improve their current situation, and
Yes.
how we do that, whether it's by a product or whether it's by a service or whatever it is that yeah. So I mean, I've done work with a video and film company on selling. I've done work with a company that does professional services and in the property industry and stuff like that. I'm currently doing work with a fashion designer who's launching a new
Oh wow.
a new a new company. So I mean, it's quite interesting. But most people I speak to that do recruitment or most leaders are having trouble hiring most positions at the moment. I was even talking to a guy today. He's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to get people to work in the factory, and it's a battle."
Well, why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, I think everyone doesn't, these days the average tenure I know of a salesperson is like 17 months, 18 months. A lot of people don't hang around now. I think that if you flip it around the other way as well, I think it's a lot of A lot of leaders and a lot of companies don't value their culture enough.
Okay, so it goes both
Yeah,
ways.
absolutely. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it takes two to tango, and I think sometimes if you've got a revolving door, well, then why is it revolving? And maybe it's time to
yeah.
lift the hood a little bit and see what's going on.
Have a
So
look, have a
definitely,
look a bit deeper. Mm.
yeah.
So, what would you say are the first elements of a resume that you would review when evaluating job candidates?
Personally, for myself, and I think I might have said this to you the other night when we met, I don't really look at resumes that much.
So, LinkedIn then, let's say LinkedIn.
Yeah, so I do go straight to LinkedIn. I'm looking at very briefly on, and look, I mean, we look at, we have thousands of applications per year as well. So, but I do have a talent acquisition lady that does it as well. But really, what we're looking at is, um, how often they change jobs, how many jobs they've had, how often they've
So,
changed jobs.
yep,
Um, I look at the type of role they've applied at and where they started their career and how have they chopped. And I'm only talking from a sales perspective here, but if someone's been an operations manager or a truck driver or a internal person and then they've gone on the road, maybe they've gone into business development, maybe then they've come back to operations or come back to whatever role. But I think if there's chop and change, it tends to sort of show that potentially they're not in the right fit or they haven't worked out.
right.
But on the flip side of that, then you throw in COVID. I mean, a lot of people unfortunately lost their jobs during COVID, so you've got to make allowances for that. Even now,
Yeah,
there's been a lot of redundancies. It's not always somebody's fault, but as they do typically say, I mean, if you're making people redundant, you're not going to put off your top performers.
yeah. So, tying in with that, like when I produce resumes, for instance, and LinkedIn profiles, I guess we try and explain gaps. Yeah. So, do you think there's more leniency for people having career gaps since COVID?
Oh, look, I think a little bit, but again, looking at a resume is only part of what we do.
Yeah.
It might only be 10%. So, I mean, but look, I do love a really nice, organized resume. One big thing I love on a resume is tell me what your company does.
Aha. Okay.
Don't ask us to go and if I got to go and Google the company you worked with and
Who
what
they
they
are, what
do,
they
well,
do. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and I've got a reasonable understanding of, the Australian marketplace, but again, I don't know every business. So that's one big tip. Very
Yeah.
short, one or two lines. What did the company do and what did you do there?
Okay. That's really valuable insight.
Yeah.
And when you say, just out of curiosity, because something I say to clients is, the value of a resume and a LinkedIn profile working together. So you use LinkedIn more for finding talent, but do you then ask them to send you a resume, or you just base everything off the LinkedIn profile, all the information you
Um,
get from them?
no, I was fortunate enough to work with a very creative talent acquisition specialist recently. And what I loved about when with her, the way her process operated is that in the job ad we ask for a resume, but we also ask for a one-page pitch.
Yep.
So tell us why you're a good option. So if someone's just throwing a resume at us because they have to tick a box, or they're just doing it because they're applying for every job under the sun. So definitely having a little something about you. But again,
Yes.
I think as you know, our concentration span or the ability to spend a lot of time on something. So keep it very short, keep it neat. For me, like probably a 2-page resume is probably a sweet spot.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, but again, what the company does and who
Yeah.
they service, and then also just a very short summary about what they did. But LinkedIn, for me, I think is really important. I understand not social media is not for everyone, and I think sometimes maybe the smart people are people that don't use it. But from a professional and from a business perspective, LinkedIn for me has a much more credit because it's live online.
Yes.
People will, I had someone the other day that like, oh, I was a business development manager. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. So it's very easy for someone to say what they think they need to say in an application. But as
Whereas
you know as well,
on
but as you know,
LinkedIn,
you've now got bloody AI writing stuff, so it's,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I interviewed an IT recruiter, I think it was earlier this year, and she actually said like if she goes on if they're not on LinkedIn, well then they've lost credibility in her eyes. Yeah. Like because it's like why aren't you on LinkedIn as well after she's received the resume? So LinkedIn's really essential, isn't it?
Oh, look, you're right. And again, I have some triggers. I'll share a few. If there's no image, so if there's no LinkedIn, that's questionable.
Yep.
Are they hiding something? Is there a side hustle?
Yeah.
Um, if there's no image, that's not a good look. And the other one was this might be a little bit. This is just me, but if someone doesn't have time to put their capital letters in their name, well, then
Well,
that's
it's
telling
attention to
me that
detail, isn't it?
well, and they're lazy. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
there are a
fair
couple.
enough.
There are a couple of my little things. For me, I won't if I see any. And look, I understand people have got a side hustle of craft or creative stuff or
Yeah.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
but at the moment we're seeing a lot of applications from people that have a business that are looking for something to fund their business. And
Yep.
my job is to bring the best people to the table, and that doesn't include somebody working on something else in the background. It's never worked for me. I've seen people get bitten by it, and I won't do it because our guarantee right now for recruitment is 6 months. We are moving to an option for a 12-month guarantee as well
Okay.
on our premium offer because things have got to change. We can't keep recruiting the way we are.
Yeah, okay. So the side hustles, as they are often referred to, can be a deterrent, particularly if like you say they're running their own business and then applying for a full-time job. It's questionable to you, yes?
I won't do it.
Right.
Never,
Okay.
never seen it work. Been bitten,
Okay.
and it's just the way I operate. Because my job is to bring the best table, the top
Yeah.
20% of salespeople to the table, and
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to risk that for any of my clients.
That's
Someone
a
else
really
might do it.
valuable insight because I have had clients ask that before. You're like, should I have
Yeah.
my own business in there? What about if the own business sort of complements what they're doing, what the role they're applying for? Still no? Wow. Okay. That's really good insight. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Someone that had their own interior design business. They obviously needed to get another job, right?
Yep.
So they got the job because they knew the industry, but effectively, how do you shouldn't be questioning what people are doing. You
Yeah.
shouldn't have to question whether
Yep.
someone's working on their business or your business. Like I was a bit different recently where yeah, I did have a lady that had her own business, but again, and it did complement what I did a little bit, but in
Yep.
theory, my situation was, well, I didn't hire her full time.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
So if
yeah,
it's full
so
time
what
in particular, yeah.
yeah, yeah, so
Yeah.
whatever she wanted to do in her time, that's her time. So
Yeah, okay. And I think what you're really highlighting is something that I can't stress enough to job candidates is how ruthless and competitive it is out there and how quickly a recruiter can be turned off. Yeah? How quickly
well,
they can lose your attention. That short bit of attention they get can be lost very quickly, yeah?
yeah, look, and I think it can go both ways. I mean, we've all got our own bias on what's important to us,
Yeah.
but it's I understand why people have to apply for jobs,
Yes.
but if you look at all the wasted time we're all doing, their wasted time applying for it, my
Yep.
wasted time having to look at it, like we've had like 300 plus applications for a job in Melbourne at the moment, right?
Yeah. That's
And
becoming the norm, isn't it?
yeah, but the way I work is that if you apply, I'll respond, right?
Yes.
Now, it might be an automated response, but I'll respond.
It's going to have to be for that number, isn't it? Seriously.
I know, but I've seen companies who are like, they'll advertise a job and they'll say, "Oh, we'll only respond to people that meet the criteria." And in a way, I can understand that because if you're a butcher or a baker or a candlestick maker and you're applying for a job for a truck driver,
Yeah.
well, then you've wasted someone's time. So, yeah.
So something I heard recently was, and I've read as well, is that AI is emboldening people to apply for roles that they're probably not relevant for, yeah, because it's creating something. They go, oh, actually, maybe I could do that role. Do you think that's influencing this increase in job applicants for each role?
Great question. Uh, no doubt it would be, but it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, yeah.
But again, the candidates are leveraging AI for their benefit. We're leveraging AI for our benefit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't rely on AI, but I use automation and AI to benefit our business. It's
But
part
that's
of
sort
what
of
we
that,
do.
and that's speeding up a process, which is where AI really comes into itself. Yeah. But I guess when you're a job applicant, it's about showing endeavour and effort, isn't it? So taking the time and putting in the effort, like you talked about earlier, like what indicates laziness, yeah, and lack of effort. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
no, there's always a loophole, as you know. If someone
Yeah.
can find it, they'll take it.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about job candidates using AI to write their resumes and perhaps their LinkedIn profiles as well? Like, can you spot them for starters? Can you always spot something that's AI generated?
Uh, yeah, look, I mean, I'm using it to help myself write stuff,
Yeah.
but you got to know your stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I think don't get it to write something for you if you can't do it, the job. So, I mean, it's one of those tricky ones, isn't it? I mean, but I think yeah, like it's going to happen, and we use it in our business, but we use it to support and improve, what we do. But I think if you're just solely relying on AI, you got a problem because you're
Yeah.
going to get
If you
caught
don't
out.
know if you don't know your content, like for instance, if you go to an interview, you won't know what's being said about you if you've let AI produce it and
Yeah, well,
haven't delved into it. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we're a bit different. So when someone applies, if they've got sales experience, our next step, it's like a 100-meter hurdle race, right?
Yep.
At the Olympics, like it's intense. So to get through our system and our process, you've got to jump a lot of hurdles. And part of our process is getting them to do an assessment, a sales assessment that aligns what our clients looking for and
Right.
their sales ability and their mindset and their capacity to do the job. So I mean, we only might interview maybe 3 to 5 people for a job. So we're not wasting time with someone that looks good on paper because we're using science and data to
Yep.
verify where someone's at. So again, that's us using the technology because we bring the technology, the best tools to the table to improve our selection, but also to save time and money. I mean, yeah, if you're out there relying on someone's AI driven resume or application letter. And then, again, I'm talking sales because that's my gig,
Yeah.
right?
Of
But I
course.
mean, a lot of people are good at interviewing because they've had plenty of practice, right?
Yep.
So all of a sudden they come in and then someone goes, oh, geez, I haven't attracted many. I've only got 30 or 50. This person's the best of an average bunch. I'll give them a go. But giving someone a go is potentially $100,000 to $200,000 gamble.
Yeah. Okay. And that's where the assessment comes in. Yeah.
It's part of our process. So we
Mm.
go through a lot of, and again, I love what I do. I'm passionate about it. But I think, that's why 50% of hires fail in sales. I mean, they're talking up to 75%, but a lot of it, again, on the flip side, and that's where I wrote the book, it comes back to the leader and the business that hasn't got the systems and the process and the pathway for these people to succeed. So
Yeah.
not only are they selecting the wrong people, but then they're bringing them into an environment that is it's a struggle.
Yep. Okay. All right. And do you see that networking and promoting online and in person is also important to stay relevant and competitive as a job candidate? So, let's think of it from a sales professional perspective.
Um, I love networking. It's
Yep.
important. I think from a sales perspective and building your brand, you just never know who you're going to meet. Look, I mean, look at us. I mean, we met and we
You're a
spoke and we're like,
networking event.
hey,
Yeah.
and we're at a networking event, and here we are a couple of weeks later chatting. So,
Do you
so
do
I
you
think
see
like,
value in like if you see that a job candidate is out there being active, like actively on LinkedIn, for instance, and going to networking events and stuff, do you see that as a value add for that person?
yeah, I do because I think social selling is part of life. I mean, it's if you want to soften up, cold calls and warm up a call, or if you want to make new connections. Yeah, look, I mean, some people like it, some people hate it. I
Yeah.
mean, as you know, I mean, doing video is confronting.
Hmm.
But I mean, we do it because we love what we're doing. We're passionate about it, and we believe that it's
Absolutely.
providing value to people that want to know. So I think networking in the right areas, that's the biggest challenge, as you know. It's easy to get caught up in
Yeah.
the wrong area, and that's why I love Kylie's group.
Yes.
Um, because I mean, I love what she does. She's so passionate about it. I mean, she brings so much energy and so much value to the table.
Yep.
And I think, yeah, when I met you ladies there that night, it was, and again, you come from Melbourne, right? So, I mean, it's, yeah, I think it's important, but again, I've been down that path where I got too caught up in, online. I think
Ah, yes.
it's got to be part of what you do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So candidates will stand out though if you can see they've got this strong online presence and they're also out there engaging, like in groups.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
in my in even in my book I wrote about it. I think, as a leader, you've always got to have that mindset that you're always hiring.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So I
And
mean,
building those connections like soft leads,
yeah,
warm
yeah.
leads. Yeah.
If I was I'm big on buying groups, right? So I always used to be part of the national buying groups and stuff like that. And I would go to a function, and even when I was a salesperson, or when I was a key account manager, or when I was a national sales manager, I would always make time. And it gets back to what we're talking about: going around and meet people, listen to them, see how they operate in front of customers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I definitely, I always like it when I see people that are, willing to try something new or willing to attend these events. And not only that, but I think a lot of people, they go and they don't want to be there, but I think it's part of business these days. Yeah.
And what about how do you feel about like I think of clients who are actively looking for roles and I encourage them to start reaching out and building connections within their industry, let's say tertiary education or something. Like are you okay with people reaching out to you as a recruiter to get some insights perhaps on the industry and build that connection with you?
Yeah, look, I get called quite often. Again, for me, it's as long as someone's doing it for the right reasons, then
Yeah.
it's lot of the times, yeah. I mean, I'm happy to talk to people. I always say, like, you just never know.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think
yeah.
and I think I got a call. Was it 2 days ago from somebody that I'd spoken to 5 years ago about a job,
Oh wow.
and I think that's a big thing. Is that, yeah, definitely happy to talk to people, but I think the thing is too that you want to be. Sometimes we put a job up and we get phone calls really quickly, and because I think a candidate might think, oh, I'm going to call or stand out from the crowd.
Yes.
Yeah, but hang on a sec. We asked for an application. You put it in. You didn't put the cover letter in. We've asked you to do an assessment. You haven't done an assessment. So I
Yeah.
think I've definitely got a few people that haunt me a little bit over the last 5 years that continue to call,
Right.
and
Okay.
and
That
but
can
I
go too
think
far, staying in touch.
definitely yes.
Yeah. And what you just said is something else I always stress to clients about. Always meet the how to apply instructions. Yeah. It's critical. They want a resume and cover letter, do both. Resume only do that. Key selection criteria, address that. Like you have to meet those guidelines, don't you? Those instructions.
Oh, look, you're right. And there's a few little different things you can do. I mean, I've seen the automation and I've been caught in it before. I mean, dear hiring manager, dear sir,
Yeah.
it's like, well, if I've written the ad, and sometimes we don't say who it's from, but, or I've seen say, oh, I'm applying for the, position that's not even our position. So, I
Yeah.
think and I suppose that comes back to the big question. It's like even in what I do as sales, I mean, we can't service everybody, right? And I think
Yep.
if you're applying for a job, you really need to have a niche on, okay, yeah, what industry or what sort of job, instead of the spray and pray, we call it, trying to
Spray
get
and
every
pray.
job in the world. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like have a real focus on where you want to work and where you do your best work and where you enjoy it. Because I think that's the other thing. I mean, we've placed people in roles and they're like, Jace, oh my God, this is my dream job. I love it. Everything you said about the company and the culture and the people and the job and the product. It's just amazing. And for me, that's a breath of fresh air. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, love that. Yeah, the spray and pray. I haven't heard that before, but I mean, that just gets people stressed as well, doesn't it? You're applying for all these roles and you're not getting any response because you're not putting in that time and that effort. And yeah,
It's hard. I mean, and we see the desperation in people too. You
yeah,
know,
of course.
it can be quite sad sometimes. I mean, some of these people, I don't know how they're going to get another job
Yeah,
like the job they had.
because it's so
Yeah,
competitive. Yeah, it's so
it
competitive
is.
out there. Is
Mm.
there any other insights that you'd like to provide, particularly from a sales recruitment perspective, that we haven't maybe covered?
Oh, look, I mean, we've covered a fair bit. I think
Mm,
again, I think I've seen a lot of companies that are advertising for salespeople. They're just doing so many things. I think they think that they're saving money, but they're not. They're putting up, position descriptions literally as the job advertisement. So they're
yeah,
scaring people away to apply for it.
yeah,
From a candidate side, I'd throw in there that read the job ads before you just hit apply.
yes,
Really,
yes.
really, spend the
Particularly
minute
the must have, yeah,
yeah,
the
spend the
must
minute
have.
or whatever it is to see whether you think this is actually something you can do and you want to do. And I think that's the part. I mean, I know there's filters and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, it is frustrating when you get three or we've had 400 applications sometimes.
Whoa, and so many not relevant. Yes, yeah,
Yeah, probably. Yeah, a lot rejected. Put it that
yeah.
way.
I have actually just got one more question I've thought of while we've been talking. Quantitative results. So if I'm producing a sales or a marketing, those sort of jobs, a resume, not LinkedIn, but resume, quantitative results are really important, aren't they, to include as sales people? Yes?
As far as results that you've
Yeah,
achieved
results.
yourself,
Mm.
yeah, look, it is, but it's also from a confidentiality
Hence why I just said
reason
resume
too.
only, not LinkedIn. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen you can learn a lot from a resume.
Yeah.
Some people just give it everything to you. I mean, and so that's a dangerous game. I think from me, as like a percentage, like I've achieved over, 30% over target. But the big thing out of it is, well, how have you achieved it?
Yeah, the how and the why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like tell us the story. I mean, and
Yes.
when we're interviewing
Yes.
people, it's like, oh, he had some success. Tell us how you did it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Some people struggle to do it. One of the other really good questions we ask now is, we say to candidates like, how would you, from a sales ability and performance perspective, how would you rate yourself at 0 to 10 on performance?
Yep.
And then a lot of people come back, oh, I'm an 8, and or a 7 or an 8. And I understand that because
Play
everyone
it
can
safe.
improve, but
Yeah.
but then the next question we ask is, well, as part of our process, if you move through to the final interviews and we do reference checks, we're going to be asking you to provide the reference checks for your hiring managers, not your mate that worked next to you.
Yep.
What do you think they would rate you at from a performance perspective and a sales ability? And then that becomes an interesting question because it's
Yeah.
like, and if they've got confidence, that's great. But I mean, if someone's telling porkies because they want to get a job,
They'll get found
well,
out, won't they?
you're going to get found out. Yeah.
You know, I've had clients across different industries provide me with their original resume, and they've got all these quantitative results. And then when I try and deep dive into it with them, they basically confess to me AI's generated that, or a friend said to put them in. So they don't mean anything. Yeah, you've got to be able to back it up, don't you?
Well, and I think this is why, again, I come back to it. Part of the hurdles to jump is the assessment. I mean, you got to get over it. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it's 95% accurate. It's predictive. It's sales specific. So, I mean, I won't trust. If I was doing recruitment like everybody else, I wouldn't be doing it. And I say that in my book
Yeah.
because I
Okay.
mean, there's a lot of you need to know before you hire someone, even before you interview someone. Because I mean, you think about it. What's the hourly rate for someone to interview someone?
Mm.
And there's typically two people, so you're talking a couple $100 at
Yeah.
least.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
and what about from your perspective? I know how are you finding the volume of your work? So obviously, as you come into like Christmas, and because I know in our industry, there's
Do you
been a
mean with AI or
no,
like
no, sorry,
recruitment?
I meant as far as because there's been a lot of people made redundant as well. I mean, have you found any difference in what you do now that AI is available for people? So maybe they think they can get away with
I
just
do
doing
think
it.
I do think across the industry of people who produce resumes and other career documentation, there has been a drop off, and I think AI is playing a big part in that. But I think people are coming back, and I was just speaking to someone else in the
Yeah,
industry yesterday who said the more senior level staff are aware that no, you still need to use a professional to produce the career documentation. It's more the younger ones that seem to think AI will do it for them. But I'm definitely picking up, yeah, desperation in people. Yeah, it's
yeah.
hard out there at the moment.
Yeah, and look, I think I'm always the first person if someone says to me, "Look, I'm not sure what to do." I will always point them in direction of someone like yourself as an
Yeah,
expert, because I mean, like I'm not an expert, but
yeah,
all I know is that it's good to have someone to talk to because yeah, maybe they're chasing the wrong opportunity anyway. And I think what you do is really amazing and definitely value because I mean, as you said, yeah, the people that see the value and know the importance of having that. When I see a really good resume and application come in and then I go to LinkedIn and it's looking good, I'm like, man, okay, this person's they're on the
Who
ball,
did they get to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
pretty well. But
yeah,
again,
yeah.
at least they see the value in getting someone to do that.
100%. Because it's for me
Yeah.
when I'm working with clients, it's a real discovery process, and so often you draw out achievements and strengths they hadn't even thought of. Yeah, such a
Absolutely.
valuable process. Mm,
Completely. Well, it's like having a mentor, and I think, yeah, no. So I love the work you do, and I
thank
really
you.
value the opportunity to come on and talk to you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. I'll hit